How do you get started on writing? Do you sharpen pencils? Do you read the Bible, meditate, have a drink, get stoned, go sit in the nature under a favorite tree? Writers share these secrets as if they were the golden key to getting into their writing. What I think it suggests is that writing is a state of consciousness. It depends heavily when you're really writing, not just sharpening your pencils, on what you pay attention to. When you're writing, you're paying attention to your audience, what they want, what they think, what they know, what they care about. You're also paying attention to your subject matter, and in addition, what you think about it, what you feel about it, how you believe you can best express it. And that leads you in turn to pay attention to your text, what words you're using, how you're organizing things, what tone you're taking. So your attention is shifting between those three main things: your subject, your audience, and your text. So in that sense, I would say writing is a state of consciousness based on what you pay attention to. It is different from editing. Editing is a different state of consciousness in that you're paying attention to rules, guidelines, recommendations. You're cruising through the text looking for errors. Your errors just jump out of the page at that point. You're looking for grammatical mistakes, for tone that's a little off, or items that are out of sequence. In that sense, what you pay attention to, you are paying attention to the audience and more to the text, but less to the subject matter. In fact, a good editor can edit an article about which they know nothing. The subject means nothing to them. But they can improve the article immensely because they're aware that, say, a singular subject needs a singular verb. Or you said this before, now this should happen before that. So we move this from one place to another. In that sense, your mood is different, but what you're paying attention to is different from what you're doing when you write. What is it that happens when you write? You're struggling to express something new, whereas when you edit, you're working with a fixed text and you're fixing it, hopefully improving it, but you're not in the effort to express meaning or to capture meaning or to let the meaning pour through you to the audience. In that sense, you are in the flow of meaning as it pours through you. Now, but how do you get to that stage? Well, one thing you do is you read other people's work with a professional eye. Think of it as having two eyes. One eye reads the way you always used to read, to get ideas, to follow the story, to be swept up in the story. The other eye pays attention to your reactions, and it says, it is the observing self. It says, wow, you're really moved by this passage. I wonder what the writer was doing. So now you reread the passage. You look at this particular phrase that means so much to you, and you ask yourself, how did the writer do it? How is this phrase organized? What words is the writer using? How is it actually working? So you're analyzing cause and effect. And when you finally discover what you consider the secret that writer was using to write that particular paragraph or sentence or phrase, then you can practice it. You can adapt it. You can make it your own. Now, when you yourself are in a context like that, a situation where you need to express something with that mood or that feeling, you have a new tool at hand, a new skill, a new strategy. And you can, it's become your own now. So from now on, when you read, you're always reading with both eyes. the old-fashioned reader that totally is lost in the text, the professional writer who says, I wonder how this is happening. How is this writer doing this? And as you acquire more of these skills and assimilate them, you no longer have to think about them. You're writing along, you come to a certain context, the back of your mind says, oh, in this context, maybe I'll use this technique. And it pours out of you. So you're like a professional athlete. You no longer have to think about things. Your speed improves because you can say, oh, I know where I am. I'll try this. And you don't have to pause and think, oh, I should, in this situation, I should do that. You just do it. So as you become more professional, you don't have to think as you write. You just write. The words pour out of you. And in that sense, you are in the flow, or the meaning is flowing through you. And that is the state of consciousness that I'm calling writing.